Okay, I am going to start. Today is Friday, October 4th, and it's 8:15 p.m. So first, let's start off at the top of the week. I want to thank you all very, 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 very much for that amazing show out at the rally. Turnout was fantastic. The signs you guys made were fantastic. It really went over very well. We're getting very good press from it. We had CBS News. I think News 12 put it up after the fact. But local press coverage, the chief leader, so it's out there and it's been nice to see. So if you see something that I haven't seen, please let us know. I know Janice Weiss, thank you for getting us in some of those local papers. I truly appreciate that. And we're starting to get a little bit more attention, so that's really nice. Um, Robert, what is happening with co-insurance? So, Robert, there is an appeal. It hasn't been heard. We have an appeal. We do have the copay argument is October 17th. So understand, let me put that on the list to talk about. So let's go in the order of the things I have written down, otherwise I'm gonna forget. And I want to make sure I stay on topic. So the rally was fantastic. The turnout was great. We ended up, for those that couldn't go, we started off at City Hall, and then we marched up to Etna on 6th and Spring. We had about 400-ish people at this event, and we were joined by all these wonderful national organizations. I live streamed most of it for you. There was a couple of times where the video blacked out, but that's because I was videoing with my cell phone, and if I get a phone call, it blocks my video. So bear with me when that happens. I'm trying to see if we could figure that out, but that's why you'd lose video, but at least you had sound, or vice versa. But was great to be able, you can go back and see it. You can see the City Hall rally, and then you can see when we picked back up in phase two and we did the rally up at the Etna area, which was more of the national organization's event rather than just ours. We were focused just at City Hall and protesting against the mayor. So that was Monday, September 30th, and I think that was a home run. Um, a lot of crazy events are happening in the city with the mayor, his administration, the courts, but we need to stay focused on what we need to do. Remember, we have no one really in that's basically supporting us, right? And when we find someone that's willing to support us because we really haven't had allies in this fight, we have to get behind them. We have three cases running. The copay case has multiple levels to it. It's in Supreme Court and Appeals Court. The Campion case is in the New York State Court of Appeals. That case means what does the 12-126 mean? What does the city have to pay up to? That's going to Albany. We'll be putting up that sign up list. If I didn't do it already, it's going up soon. I think I did put it up already though. And then we're waiting to see if the court accepts the appeal on Bentkowski. Then that would go to Albany as well, but that's probably not going to happen until the winter. So know that we're three different cases. And then we also have legislation that we're trying to get done. And the state legislation was largely successful. Out of like 216 electeds, I think we got 146. That is the legislation we have to push, which means we need senators and assembly persons to support us. And when we have them, we have to keep them. So that's my next segue is into Stacey Pfeffer Amato. I put up a sign up list for people to sign up to come out and do a live endorsement day. So this would be a day where we would come on to a Zoom call, as many of us as we can possibly get, and then do a live endorsement day of her in support. Why? She is the chair of the Governmental Employees Committee. She's a co-sponsor on our legislation. We want to make sure that we keep co-sponsors because we want a large enough majority on our bill that if it gets vetoed, we could potentially get it overridden. You're not going to want to put people, take a risk on someone who's not in office. And then if the incumbent gets reelected, you just burnt your bridge. Why would you do that? This organization, We have a mission. The mission is to protect your healthcare. We are a one issue organization. Hard stop. We're not getting into all the other stuff. And I don't care if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, or you're a French fried marshmallow. If you're supporting us, we are supporting you. I don't care what your politics are. You are free to go ahead and vote wherever you want. Just like when we were in our unions all said, hey, listen, we're going to endorse this candidate. Why did they do that? Because those were the candidates that were giving you your pensions, giving you your Lodi benefits, giving you whatever it was that your union was trying to legislate at the time. We are doing the same thing, and we have to. So, yes, we have supported Republican candidates. We have supported Democratic candidates. We cannot be choosy. We have 216 elected officials that we have to get a majority on our side, and they're on both sides of the aisle. So sorry if you're not happy with me, Mr. Donald Rudden. I'm really sorry, but listen, I don't have a choice. My goal is to protect 250,000 of you, and I've got to do it any which way I can. But at the end of the day, you're free to do whatever you want to do. This organization has to stay focused on its mission, and its mission is we need to get this bill passed. If the bill went to the governor, right? If it went to the governor and it got signed and it got vetoed, we would have to be able, hopefully, to veto it. Miriam says, my assemblyman did not sign. Is there anything we can do? I've called, sent emails, nothing. Can we do something? Miriam, who is your assemblyman? Well, I know you are, and you're special. You're always happy to see me, but there's a couple of you that really not really too happy. And this is different from politics. Oh, Assemblyman Dinowitz. Why did I have a feeling you were going to say that? Um, okay. So when we've always taken the position that there would be no politics on the page, and when we're talking politics, we're talking national politics. We're not talking any that kind of politic on the page. Our only political engagement at this point is going to be making sure that we have electeds that are supporting us on our legislation. That's it. I don't care about anything else. How do we find out who's endorsing the bill? Well, Michael, what you can do is you can go up to the state site and put in Assembly Bill 7866, Senate Bill 8388. Make sure you are looking at the most up-to-date version because there could be an A, B, or C version. And honestly, I haven't looked at it in a while and I don't remember. But make sure you're looking at the most updated one and you can see all the list of people who have. So that is the event that we're working on. Ellen, how will we work around the secretive and really not legit rules committee? Again, refuses our state bill. Well, my dear, this is where we have to do whatever we have to do and pull all stops out to make sure that this bill gets passed this year. So we are actually working on that with our board and with our advisors. We're right now only focused on helping those that have supported us in the past or were co-sponsors on our legislation. If you want to find who's on it, go look it up. Assembly Bill 7866, Senate Bill 8388. So that is the rally. We posted the link up top today about signing up for the endorsement event and campaigning for Assemblywoman Stacey Feparamato. It is October 8th and it is 3 p.m. So please, as much of you as you can, sign up to be there. It is October 8th at 3 p.m. Look, let's get this bill passed, and then I don't give a damn what any of you do regarding politics. You're free to do whatever the heck you want. You can still do what you want now, but we need to make sure that our legislation gets passed. I want my life back, and I know you guys too. So will Bennett be joining us tonight? No, Janet, I honestly had forgot to ask him, but I did ask him the last time if he would, and he said yes. His schedule has to accommodate that, but he will be joining us soon, as would Arthur. I asked them both after last week. You haven't found a kukutsa yet. Well, are you in Sicily, Larry? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so um the copay case you asked about. So the copay case was a sheer breach of contract issue for anyone asking about the contract, about the copay case. Copay case was filed on a breach of contract basis. And what that meant was in the contract, there was nothing there that allowed the city to charge copays. We didn't lose that case. The injunction was lifted once the contract was corrected. So there's a large group of retired sergeants down, police officers down in Florida who seem to think we lost that case. We haven't lost a case yet. The copay case hasn't even been argued yet. That starts on October 17th. The injunction was lifted in them imposing the copays because the contract was corrected. End of story. Um, yes, there is an appeal. I don't know when it will be heard. We're just waiting. But the argument, the meat and potatoes of the case, as I like to say, that will be argued on October 17th. Co-sponsoring a bill and moving it to the third reading, then letting it die there while having lunch with lobbyists opposing it. I know, John. That's why we need to really have a lot of friends in there to make sure it gets pushed out of committee and it gets to the floor. Would you consider removing Eric Dinowitz from our new website as a supporter? Ellen, I will discuss that. But he did write that letter, and I will actually put him on my to-call list to tell him we will move him to the other side if he doesn't, and if his dad doesn't. But that letter, he wrote that letter. Let's see. I still have all my copies of copays I paid. Well, then you keep them. Do not do anything with those receipts, Rosalie. I have tried and he refused. We have all tried. I know. I know. Sue used to call him all the time and he ignored her too. Well, he'd take her call, but wasn't being moved. He's mostly bought by the UFT. But actually, why don't you guys try again calling him next week? Because remind him that the United Federation of Teachers removed or withdrew their support for Medicare Advantage. Maybe it makes a difference now. So tell him, hey, listen, Councilman Dinowitz, Assemblyman Dinowitz, listen, the UFT is no longer supporting the Medicare Advantage. They withdrew their support. They sent a letter to the court. See what he says. Put that on your to-do list Monday. Let me know how that goes. Do I know if Jumaane Williams still supports us? I believe he does, Ellen. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. I know, Ann, your fingers are itching to write new emails. Yep. So now that Adams is up the creek with the city council, will the city council change its tune? I don't know, Claudia. We're gonna find out. Like I said, the other thing you need to put on your calendar this week is we have the 8th is a virtual endorsement event and campaigning event for Assemblywoman Stacey Fefermato. The 10th at about noon is still slotted for City Hall. Again, you will get updates on that probably on Tuesday. I'm sorry for the last minute, but the city has given me a hard time booking this one. Make sure you guys are at City Hall on Tuesday. I'm sorry. On Thursday, October 10th. Did I get that right? I'm checking my calendar so I don't screw this up again. Thursday, October 10th at noon. You'll see me. Williams could drop the appeals while also signing our new bill in the council. Yes, he could. Look, guys, I mean, we're in like uncharted territory. We formed an organization like this has never been heard of. We've made sure that we organized, we hired lawyers, we have advisors, we have government liaisons, we have bookkeepers, accountants. I mean, this is just the most insane thing that we've ever done. And we've inserted ourselves in arguments and conversations and litigation, legislation. This is just to protect everything that you guys earned. So we have to make sure that we protect up to this point. I mean, look at how far we've come in the 3 years we've been doing this, right? I don't want to let that momentum go away, and which is why this is exhausting because we are literally juggling three litigations, one in two separate courts and legislation in two districts. I mean, this is crazy. John says an issue like this, preserving employee and retiree benefits, has got to be bipartisan, nonpartisan. I agree. We always say healthcare is a human right, not a political fight. I was an activist on the Veterans Equality Act pension reform. It took 3 years and two vetoes. We got both liberals and conservatives on board. And that's how you have to do this. We're actually working on coming out to support another elected, that is another co-sponsor of our bill, I believe in Rockland, Mr. McGowan, who is a conservative. We don't really care what your party is. And as I said, I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or a French fried marshmallow. I don't care what your political affiliation is. If you support a retiree, you support protecting Medicare, you support protecting the promise made to us, you support Medicare from being privatized, how can I not get behind you? I don't have a choice. I need a bill passed. And I'm not going to get it by just anybody. It has to be an elected senator and assembly person. How am I going to do that if I don't get behind these people? No bill will get passed without bipartisan support. Take the politics, take the party identity out of the issue, focus on the issue. That's what we have to do. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate you saying that. I know. Look, you could be a Democrat and you've got like what, five, six, seven, eight Democrats looking to run for mayor. Most of them could suck, right? But if out of like the eight people that you have, there's one that says, I really want to support you. Well, hold your nose and click the check mark. That's all I can tell you. Next election, do something different. I received an email from one of our retirees, who's a firefighter, who said to me, I am a staunch Republican. I have never voted Democrat. I will never vote Democrat, except you made me reconsider. I will just do what I have to do. And if I have to vote for Brad Lander or Jumaane Williams, I will do it to protect my Medicare. If I have to, I will move out of the city, move out of the district, move out of wherever. And in 4 years, I will come back and I will do what I have to do. Okay. But he knows that the most important thing is protecting his Medicare. We have been a shining light on the truth in Medicare about Medicare Advantage and what the city and the MLC and our former unions have been trying to do to we retire city retirees, and bipartisan support is what works. It does. And I have to keep saying it. You hear me always say healthcare is a human right, not a political fight. And I'm going to say it every single time. I cannot engage in politics. This is not political. You might not like their other issues, but we are a one issue organization. That's all I can say. William, I don't have a financial update. We haven't been doing a fundraiser. We haven't done a fundraiser in over a month. We will be doing fundraising probably starting in another 2 weeks because we know we want to get one last squeeze out before the holidays. So I can check and see my email if I did get something, but I have not looked at email all day today. Because if you notice, we have not posted a fundraiser since the last one. Okay, so for the week of September 26th to October 2nd, we brought in $15,822. So in that 1 week. But I will make sure we post another one. Give me about 2 weeks. I don't want to keep pressuring everybody, but we know that we've got to start adding more to the coffers before we get into holidays. Um, how can we trust that politicians running for office who support us won't do a bait and switch just like the mayor did? That's a good question, Janet. I don't know the answer to that. Faye, Ellen, yes, whatever we need to do to protect our Medicare. Having long COVID past year brings it home. I know it's a struggle. I need to know who we are going to vote for that supports our cause. So, Maria, we're not even at the primary yet. So you've got time, girl. It's too early. There could be so many other things happening. There's more indictments coming. There's a whole bunch of messy stuff. Just give it a little bit more time. You still have primaries to get through, so hang in there. Hopefully we are donating without a fundraiser. I agree, Karen, and there are people donating without the fundraiser, but we will do a concerted fundraising effort just before the holiday. Mary and I turned in late. Which case is coming up next? So, Susan, you have October 17th, Supreme Court, 60 Center Street at 9:30 in the morning. That's the copay argument. That is the case. I also mentioned not to listen to that rogue, crazy retired cop group out of Florida that says we lost that case. We have not lost that case. Um, the injunction was lifted on the institution of the copays, and it was a contractual violation case once the contract was corrected. And we've always known that this was a risk, but that was all we had in arguing on that part. And then the rest of the case is still left to be argued, which will then start on the 17th. So don't listen to rumors that we lost the copay case. We have not lost the copay case. And then November 19th, we're going up to Albany to the New York State Court of Appeals on the Campion case. And that case is about what 12-126 is. I will do a donation thermometer, Ellen, when we start the next fundraiser. After my donation, I received a thank you letter stating that our group is a 501c5 organization. Does that mean we could submit donations on our taxes? No, a 501c5 is like your union. We are non-taxable, not deductible. Gerald, I will give more information on that on Monday or Tuesday. But still, we are going to the council, to the city hall on October 10th at noon. Make support public info so bait and switch is out in the open. And Roberta, that's a really good thing to have. So if they commit to it, you actually post it. One of the things that came up this morning after our radio show this morning was that we actually hold a event, a campaigning event, like a town hall, so to speak, of all the mayoral candidates and ask them positions on healthcare and see what positions they take. That way they can't hide. You invite them, they show up, they don't show up. That tells you right there. They're not getting our support. So now I just need to find in my spare time how I can schedule that. Because we need a location and probably need to start scheduling that as we get closer to the primary. But then it's public and they can't hide from it. Thank you, Daniel, for trying the new pay site. It's our website is actually doing very well and it's been successful. So I'm very happy and our bookkeeper's happy and Everybody's happy. We all need to consider the copays. We have not been paying for the supplemental. We have not been paying monthly and donate monthly. And remember something, it was the MLC, it was the UFT, it was DC 37, and it was some of the unions that voted for copays in 2016. They did this. The city agreed to it, and the savings gave the unions their raises. Yes, on the backs of retirees. Yes, the gift that keeps on giving. What are the chances current leadership changes in the city and state? Oh, Celso, I think that's going to happen. We have a rally on October 10th at noon, Janice. With Aetna falling apart, how does it affect us? So, Anne, great question. So you've all seen in the paper most likely that Aetna is laying off about 3,000 people, and there's a potential split in their organization coming, that they're going to separate the organization from retail and healthcare. You have CVS Pharmacy, you have CVS Health, Aetna. So how does that affect us? Well, we already know, Anne, that Aetna told the city that because of the delay and the headwinds of Medicare Advantage, they are going to have to revise their bid if this plan ever goes into effect and raise their prices. The MLC's position was, well, if Aetna does do that, we will have to then vote on that. I was like, over my dead body. Um, yeah, I like that idea too. If Javante Williams becomes mayor for 90 days after Adams is forced out, he would have to take definitive action during that 90 days. Yes, he would, Joe. Lois, does the correction to the contract affect the copay case? Yes, Lois, that's why the judge lifted the injunction. It allowed for copays to be initiated, but the argument of the case hasn't been argued. Just the reasoning for the injunction. Lessons learned from Italians here. The train Italia unions are in slowdown. The citizens, although inconvenienced, are in support of this strike and workers. Why can't more New Yorkers like council members support our retirees? Because I don't know, Larry, but maybe eventually. 3,000 mostly from corporate, not CVS stores. Yes. It was reported that UFT coffers has a huge profit. However, benefits have not improved. Well, if you ask Michael Mulgrew, he'd probably differ from you. They have almost 1 billion, B with a B, billion dollars in welfare fund reserves. Why, but why the rally on the 10th? Yes, Janice, I cannot announce that right now. I keep saying there's a rally on the 10th at noon. Just listen. I will give you details probably on Tuesday. I apologized again that it's late information, but if I don't have the data to give you, I can't put it out. All I'm telling you is hell or high water, we will be meeting on the 10th at noon at City Hall. Am I correct thinking the copay case has nothing to do with? No, Janet, it's all in the same case. I find it hard to understand why everyone is having such a hard time wrapping their head around this copay case issue. The copay case has many facets to it. An injunction is given when bad things would imminently happen. They went to imminently impose copays, and we said, no, there's no contract that allows for that. So the judge stopped it. They looked at the contract. The judge recognized the contract didn't support copays. They went and they corrected the contract. The judge said, since you corrected the contract, I'll lift the injunction. But now the rest of the case has to be argued. It's not been argued. We don't know what he'll do with that. Thank you, Ellen. The meat and potatoes of the copay case has not yet been argued. We have not lost that case. Only the injunction, the restraining order has been lifted. That's it. Remember, restraining orders are put in place to stop bad things from imminently happening. They were going to impose those copays immediately, and we got that stopped. Carol, copays are slated to start again in January because the injunction was lifted and the contract was corrected. Remember, our case was for what was charged to you during the time when there was no contract that permitted them to do this. And we still haven't argued the case for the millionth time. This just totally, I'm flummoxed why this one case throws so many of you into confusion. I just don't understand. Janet, thanks for asking. The new donation platform is phenomenal. It's working great. How do you know how many of us have migrated to it? Well, when we still have money coming in through it, that's pretty wonderful. Um, it allows us also to send emails through it. We sent one of the emails last week. You would have gotten two last week. One went through the platform, and we do still have some tweaking to do with the email setup. So I did send two emails that week, which I'll probably do again this week. One will go through there, and one will go through the MailChimp. Seal, while I understand it's easier to write a check, remember, when you write a check, it's easier for you, but it costs us more money and time to process. We have to receive your mail, and the mail is coming late. We're still getting mail from April, May, and June. We have to open that up, we have to deposit it manually, and then if you didn't put your information on your check on who you are, we have to try to figure out who you are and then log that into our platform, which is why we want to move away from doing things manually. Remember, we have a full-time bookkeeper that we pay to do this. We have become a business, and we're trying our hardest to move away from as much as we can that's done manually. So let's see, we're almost at 9. So I want to remind you guys, Faye says I did it afterwards and it was easy to donate. See? Try it. You will realize how easy. You have 4 different ways to make a donation. As a last resort, do a check, but please. Just go right to the website, nycretirees.org. Just go right to the website. Your options are right there. Click here to donate. Click here to sign up for an email. We have a professional accounting firm handling our legal IRS and state documents. And reviewing everything that the bookkeeper does. We have a full-time bookkeeper. We have 2 litigation attorneys, Jake and Steve. We have a tax attorney. We have a government liaison. I'm telling you, you guys have no idea what we do. It's insane. Making my donation in euros. Just kidding. I did it before I left. No money left in this vacay. Well, Larry, you enjoy yourself. The options are all there, and it's much easier than me mailing in a check. It absolutely is. If they just tried it, they would realize it is easy. I know, William. I remember you were having some trouble that day. There actually is an option for bank withdrawal. It's called ACH. ACH is the bank withdrawal. That comes right out of your bank account. You don't need to use your credit card. Yep. So let's do a quick recap on dates. On the web, on our Facebook page, there is a sign up for you to sign up for October 8th at 3 p.m. to come and do a Zoom endorsement celebration with an invitation to do some campaigning, cold calling for Assemblywoman Stacey Pfeffer Amato. It is very important that you guys come out and help get her let her keep her job because she is the chair of the Government Employees Committee. She has championed retiree healthcare. She is a co-sponsor on our legislation, and we want to make sure that she stays on this bill and she gets back on it in January. So that would be truly helpful. Thank you, Irene. And then the 10th, Thursday, City Hall at noon. And I will give you details on what that's about on Monday or Tuesday when I get them. Just know we're going. We may not know why we're going to be there, but we're going to be there. Come on, you guys, trust me. Trust me, you'll be excited. Signed up for the Zoom. When will we get the link? I will send you a link a couple of days before, and then I'll send you. Actually, it's the 8th. Where's my calendar? So I'll send you the link probably the day before on the 7th, because I'm going to keep pushing everybody signing up. October 8th at 3 p.m. I'm going to keep pushing it. So on the 7th in the morning, I'm going to say, hey, everyone, check your emails. Look for the link. Okay? So on the 7th, you'll get the link from me. Trust me, Carol. Sometimes I bang my head on this table when I hang up. It's kind of flat there. Get doink from banging my head on the table. All right, guys, go do your thing. I'm going to watch the Mets, I guess. So, well, thank you, Roberta. Roberta says we'll follow you anywhere. I at least make your life interesting. Just runs to the city and then runs back home and, gives you Kakuza videos. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Go enjoy your weekend. Do what you've got to do. You've given your homework. Sign up for that event. Make sure you're registered. I will send you out the link on Monday. Probably harass you all weekend to make sure you sign up. You'll get a whole bunch of emails from me reminding you to do so. Check out the videos on YouTube from the rally if you couldn't attend, so you could see how much fun we had. And then we do have that rally on Thursday, the 10th at noon. Yes, let's go Mets. Yes, make your donations. Thank you, Tommy. Even firemen need heroes. Love you, Tommy. And you guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll harass you all weekend. Don't worry. You'll still hear from me. And then Monday, I'll send you out that link for the Pfeffer Amato event. All right, guys. Stay happy. Love you. Ciao. Mwah.